Hey, I'm Randy, and this is
Misty?
with Into Darkness. Welcome to our channel again. Hey, we wanted to take a few minutes and just talk with you guys about the channel and about some things. But first things first, I do hope that everyone notices, and Misty, I'm hoping that you notice my really cool Alice Cooper shirt.
It's a cool shirt.
It is a really cool shirt. Do you know why? Because he's like one of the greatest.
Did you get it when you went to his concert?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. If you have not been to, this is an official Into Darkness, what do you call it? Endorsement.
Yeah.
If you have not been to an Alice Cooper concert, I highly recommend you actually go. It's one of the best concerts you'll ever go to.
And while we're at it, Mr. Duck is with us.
Yes, Inspector Duck is with us, and so we're all here. The family's all here, so let's have a family chat.
Yes.
I just wanted to talk to, we wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the channel, why we do what we do, and just kind of the process in which we do things.
Because I think that there's a lot of things that we maybe haven't touched base on, and that we wanted to just discuss why we do it. So why we chose local cases? Why did we choose local cases?
Well, basically, we chose local cases because there's a lot of YouTube channels, there's a lot of podcasts that talk about just the facts of the case, and it's all good. No foul on that. Actually, I love to listen to true crime stuff, so I listen to a lot of that stuff. Some of my favorites, they go through and discuss the facts of the case and just kind of their opinion. But we wanted to do something a little closer to home, and the reason why is because we were thinking. Let's do something besides just the facts of the case. Let's do something that we can maybe try and have a little bit of an impact on them, on the cases.
And I know for me, I wanted to be able to see it. Because sometimes when you can see where it happened, it makes it more real.
Exactly.
And so we can actually go to some of those locations and film. We've talked to people locally that would have known those people, and we can have face-to-face with people. You get a better perspective of what maybe was going on at the time.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and that's one thing that has been really cool to be able to do is to go to some of these places that we wouldn't be able to go to if it was a case that was outside of the state that we're in, and so being able to go to places like the foothills where Ronnie was found, or like the Maverick where she was last seen, or like to Constance's house when we're trying to track down someone who we want to speak with about a case. Those are things that we couldn't do if it was not local cases. So.
Right. Yep.
And you'll probably have noticed that our format for our channel is a little bit different also. Mm-hmm. Kind of more interactive. That's also for a reason.
Because we wanted to get to know what was going on during the time, as much as we can. I mean, obviously some of this case that we're currently working on, it's a little bit older, so there's some people that aren't available or
willing to
talk, and so
you know who you are.
However, at the end of the day, we have the ability to talk to people and give them a voice, because I think that if we get people talking, you always say it.
Yeah, the thing is that they say that that people. That sometimes cases will be solved just by someone saying the smallest thing, mm-hmm. and remembering the smallest thing. So our hope is that by getting people talking, we'll get somebody talking that will say the right thing, and we can make a cold case a closed case. Mm-hmm. Look, the reality is on any of the cases that are unsolved in our area, the reality is that somebody knows something. It could be you, and somebody will be able to help put the pieces together that need to be put together on that. My computer's making all sorts of notification noises. It's really bothering me. Sorry. Anyways, and look, here's the reality that comes with it, though, and this is something that I think is important to emphasize. Partly for our friend Jerry and partly for some other people as well. Look. When we talk with people, they're not always going to. And some of the things they're going to talk about is things that are illegal activities that either the person was involved with, it was the victim, or that the persons of interest or people who knew the victim. Sometimes it's not very flattering stuff, and understand that first of all, it's their perspective of what happened at the time. Mm-hmm. But also, we let people talk and tell their side of the story. and it has nothing to do with whether the victim should have been murdered or not, or disappeared or not. But it does have everything to do with, at the end of the day, we want to see a conclusion to these cases, and so we have to explore all possibilities. When people are telling us what happened, we don't know if that's what actually happened without collaborating evidence. But what it can do is it can help us get a better idea of maybe what was going on. And you can't get corroborating evidence if you don't get anything to go off of in the first place, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So while we're going through each case, we try really hard to reach out to those closest, and then we let them have a voice. Some people that we've talked to maybe weren't super close with the victim, but they had been in contact with the person a day or two before. And we feel that that's important because I think that they can give voices to maybe what that person was experiencing, how they were feeling.
Yeah.
And so that is, maybe they don't know anything, but they know what their state of mind was. And so we're able to give them that moment.
It helps them, and once again, helps people to get their gears in the mind going, so they remember what's happening and everything. So that's just a little bit about how we do with interactive stuff. So, if you hear somebody saying something and you're like, oh, I don't remember that about that person, just remember that's what that person's perspective of what happened was. And we do, by the way, we do our best to figure out and vet who we are talking with before we put them on video. We're not going to just put anybody on camera with us that walks through the door and says, oh yeah, I knew so-and-so, and then we want to know that they actually knew him and that they actually were involved in their life. So those are important things to remember too. So we've been we spent the last year working on 2 cases, the Ronnie Parrott case, which is unfortunately still unsolved, and February 13th is coming up. Is that when she was found in the foothills? That day is coming up, the 6-year anniversary of when she was found in the foothills. And so we are still kind of behind the scenes trying to talk with people, hoping to get a little bit more information on that.
Yeah, we actually have people that have reached out and are willing to talk now, and we'll see where that leads. We haven't made that connection, but we're trying. Mm-hmm. So we don't think we've stopped. We're still listening. We're still here.
And of course, the Aaron Bernard case, we've started releasing the videos on that. And we have several more to release on that as well.
And I think there's several people we still are really trying to get in contact with. We'll go over a list of those. And I do think just for people that maybe are unfamiliar with the case, it leads into what we think is another case. So we're going to do kind of a back-to-back situation where they'll kind of bleed into each other because I think they're related.
Yeah, and that's the Jeremy Burt case. And by the way, speaking of the Jeremy Burt case, and we don't have all the details yet, but February 11th is the 15th anniversary of Jeremy Burt's disappearance. There will be some kind of an event, I believe.
When we know more details, we'll definitely post those. So if anybody cares to be part of it, they'll have some details.
Exactly. And a little bit later this month, we'll also have some updates on Ronnie Parrott's case with her 6-year anniversary coming up as well. So a couple things as far as who we'd still like to talk to, in case anybody's wondering. We would still love to speak with Constance, even though she shut the door in our face the first time. We'd still love to talk to her. We'd also love to talk to her friend Jeannie. At the time, I believe with Jeannie Al-Bakri. Also has been known as Jeannie Braun and is currently Jeannie Hughes. Who else do we want to talk to?
We'd like to talk with Tyler Dean. We know Tyler lived with him, so we would love to speak with him. And we also have some questions for Mans Montgomery. And then we have heard we need to speak with Joyce. She was the bookkeeper?
I believe the bookkeeper at Vista Pond.
For Roy Rice.
Yes.
We'd love to speak with her.
Yeah, anybody who knew anything about Roy Rice, we'd still like to talk with you as well. We have talked to a few people. And by the way, you can talk to us anonymously. We have actually talked to several people off camera, off the record, and we do, we do share on the channel some of the things we've learned from people. But if you say, "Hey, I want to be anonymous," we don't reveal names or sources if you do not want to go on camera with us.
And then going back to the Ronnie case, we would like to speak with, what was his name?
Michael Fretwell. So at least that's what we've been told. So we would love to talk with him still. So.
And we'd like to speak with Dwayne.
Yep, we'd love to speak with Dwayne and David Kraft. I will say this, that we did have a brief conversation with David Kraft in which he told us that he was innocent, that he did not kill Ronnie, and that he loved her, and then he hung up the phone. So that was a very brief conversation, but he did proclaim his innocence. Anyways, with that being said, hey, we are excited for some more videos to come. The next video that you'll be hearing from is from Marky Davis. We interviewed her. She was the private investigator that worked on the Jeremy Burton disappearance. And she has a lot to say about Jeremy's case, but also about Aaron's case as well. As Misty just said, that it is believed by a lot of people that there is definitely a very real possibility of a connection between the two. And sometime in the future, we'll go over what those possible connections may look like. So, all right. Anything else you want to say?
I don't think so. I think that's everything. Other than, if you have any information, contact us at intodarknessnw@gmail.com.
Or on our Facebook page, facebook.com/intodarknessnw. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would love to have more than 115 subscribers. Especially since some people seem to think we have a national YouTube channel.
That has been mentioned.
All right. It's good talking with you all, and we look forward to talking with you again. Adios.